Hi everyone, so I wanted to do this midweek video essentially going into the reasons why I want to lose weight and why I'm so motivated to get fit and healthy. And I feel like this time is going to be different than any other time that I've tried. Now, I wanted to leave the Sunday videos sort of keeping up with the progress and what actions I'm taking and how manifestation works. Now, with these, let's say, midweek videos, I would like to go more into like why and what I want to be different essentially moving forward in my life and why this is important to me. Now, one of the absolutely main reason why I want to start this journey and I want to get fit and healthy is because I'm a mom now, and that is something that I wasn't before. But why this is important for me is because obviously I had a lot of issues with food my entire life. So my relationship with food is it's completely messed up. So I've been down to 38 kilos and up to 75 kilos. So my weight has always been up and down. Oh, actually, no, when I was pregnant, I was almost 80. So, yes, my weight has always been up and down throughout my life. So, I've had really, really bad relationship with food. And all of this came from my mom. Now, of course, that is not her fault at all, essentially. She had her issues with food and basically being thin, and it got passed down to me because that's essentially how it works. And I kind of want to break the cycle, and I don't want to pass that down to my son. I want him to like food, to be excited about it, to enjoy moving, and to just not have any negative connotations to it. So I want to make it that we're having breakfast together and we're having dinner together, and he's having his packed lunch, and he gets to basically, we all get to enjoy this as a family essentially. And so this is why I'm also like trying to learn to cook now and be just a better version of myself. Now, growing up essentially, and again, this is nothing against my mom, she is a lovely, lovely person. But again, she just had her issues, and it got passed down onto me. It's not her fault, essentially. Now, effectively, we never had any food at home. So I think we would maybe have like home cooked food at the house once or twice a week. Now, I don't want it to be the case with my household. I want there to be like home cooked food every day, like breakfast and dinner. Now, a lot of times, so there wouldn't really be necessary. So in the house, you'd have a lot of like produce. So you'd have maybe like cheese and biscuits and like fruit. But of course, when you're a child, do you normally go for the fruit or do you go for the biscuits? You tend to go for the biscuits. Now, and that sort of pattern of like me not having normal meals, I think it's probably continued all throughout my life. Because a lot of times people see me and they're like, but you don't eat a lot. And I'm like, yes, but I would eat like a pack of cookies at night when I've been hungry because I've not been eating all day. And so then it's like I'm gonna eat a cookie and then another cookie, and then it's like it's literally you're replacing your meal with like snack food. So you can go all day without eating, but then if you eat like all these like snacks and unhealthy things, then of course you're going to put on weight. And so that was kind of the case with me growing up. So we never really had normal food. I almost felt a bit like an alien in university because people were talking about like curry and what else, like teriyaki, and it was foods that I had no idea existed. So even like casserole, I don't think I had like a casserole growing up. It's like there was just no food. We would have maybe like, if there was food, there would be like pizza or like some other type of pastry, which again, it wasn't great. I mean, we would have salads. Actually, my mom would make salads, But again, we're talking about this would be done maybe once or twice a week. So we didn't have food in the house on a consistent basis. And also, I never used to eat together with my mom because obviously she had her issues around food. So she didn't really like eating in front of like other people. So, you know, or if we were eating, we would be like watching TV and eating. And I don't want that. I do want to have like this sort of family atmosphere around food where we're all sitting together, we're talking, we're like experiencing the food. Because I think that it is a very nice way to be brought up. Now, I also think that there was this obviously these negative feelings around food, and it's like food was always, it wasn't really enjoyed. It was kind of scoffed down so that you can leave and then you kind of move on with your things. Now, there was also, I felt like there was a lot of negative connotations around sport, and so all of my family does sports. So I was doing sports as well. So all throughout high school, I was doing swimming competitively. I was doing volleyball competitively, and for as a hobby, I was doing boxing and horse riding as well. Now, the thing is, I never chose to do swimming, and I feel like when something's like put on you at a young age, and then you kind of feel like, and it's not even that I don't like swimming, but I was kind of like forced to do swimming, if that makes sense. And so as soon as I basically finished school, it took me like years to get back into the swimming pool. I did not want to swim anymore. Like I was just done with it because like it's something that's been like forced on you. You've had like no choice, and it's quite difficult. You would have practices 2 times per day. It takes a lot of time. So unless you have your motivation and it's something you enjoy doing, it is essentially torture. And so I was doing swimming, yes, because my mom wanted me to do swimming. And even let's say I wanted to do boxing and horse riding and volleyball, I was allowed to do it, but I also had to keep to swimming. Now, as a result, yes, I hated swimming for like a long time. Now it's that I'm a bit older. I'm essentially, I started incorporating. So before I had my baby, I started swimming again, and I started incorporating it into like, let's say, my gym regime. So I'll go to the gym and then go swimming as cardio, or some days I would just, instead of going to the gym, swim for an hour or an hour and a bit. And so now I'm starting to enjoy it again, but essentially it wouldn't be my sport of choice. And I really had to, so activity, like physical activity, it had almost this very Soviet connotation to it, which is like you train for results and to exhaustion. And there was no fun. And so a lot of times, even though I would do quite strenuous exercise for an hour and a half a day, throughout my day I wasn't really like moving and active. So I would watch a movie and then just watch like 10 movies a day, yes. And so I'm starting now to kind of learn what activities I enjoy. But again, so I'm like 28, so it's taken me this long to kind of get rid of all my negative habits that I had growing up. And so I want to fix that for me so that I'm not passing it down to him. Now, of course, I'll pass down other negative habits to him, but at least maybe I won't pass down this one. So this is why this is so important to me now. And also I think that a lot of, so your parents' self-esteem and well-being in general, it gets passed down onto you as well. And so I was very insecure growing up. I was always like the frumpy dumpy, and because obviously my weight was constantly up and down as well, so I was either overweight or I was like 38 kilos. So I never really sort of felt comfortable. Obviously none of the guys liked me, and so I never really like even took a lot of self-pride and self-care for myself. And so I kind of felt like I was really behind everyone else, like always sort of like an outsider looking in, and a lot of it was because of my food and weight problems. And so I kind of feel like if you have a parent who is like insecure and they don't like themselves, then the child's gonna start picking this up. And if you have a parent who is like happy, confident, then the child's gonna be happy and confident. So again, it's something that I need to fix for myself so that I can set an example for him. Of someone who is like happy, active, confident. Like, I want to be that person, and I want to be that person for him, of course. Now another thing that like necessarily like it's not just the physical aspect of it, but a lot of it is the health aspect, let's say. It's honestly for the first time in my life since I became a parent, I want to get old. I don't want to die at 35 or 40. I want to see my child grow up. I want to see him graduate. I want to see him like graduate from university if that's what he wants to do. I want to see him get married, see him have children. And I want to have that long life where I can be with him as long as possible. And so now I'm starting to become very much health conscious because I want to live my life and I want to be healthy. I don't want to be a burden to him. I want to be like a healthy 90-year-old. And I think it's all about wanting to be a better role model. Now, of course, there's a lot of selfish aspects to it, and I'm happy to discuss this in like the next videos as to why I want to lose the weight and to be fit and healthy. But for him, I want to essentially create a good relationship with food so that I can pass it on to him and to my household in general. And I want to be fit and healthy because I want to see my child for as long as possible. And so this is a huge motivation for me.